Alright, we continue on with Severance. First of all, if I sound weird, that's because I am recovering from a cold and I have been coughing for just like that. I've been coughing for the past couple of days. I apologize for that. Um, and my throat has been sour just for a little bit, so change in voice. I don't know if I'm gonna be reviewing the episode immediately after this because as you can see, it's kind of annoying if I, speak for a long period of time. If I speak for a long period of time and I keep coughing every now and again because talking kind of, I don't know how it works. I'm not a doctor, but if I talk more often, then the throat is just gonna go wacky and I start coughing. So, um, there you go. That's my explanation. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy my reaction to Severance Season 1, Episode 6. Ah. Whoa. Look at those dolls.
Whose was it?
Ours.
Oh.
It's traceable to
Ragabi, though. Okay. Whoa. Benevolence?
Tame in me the tempers for.
Oh, yeah. Charlotte Coble. Wait, what was that? 44? Oh, I gotta go back to that. I saw 44 and I immediately presumed that was like part of a date, so 1944. I mean, it matches with like some of the aesthetics of like the stuff on display here. You see how hard it is for me to speak without coughing. How old is Miss Coble then? Probably she's in like her 80s at this point, right? If the show is set in like the 2020s. The whole religious aspect of the Egans, yeah, they're not being subtle at this point. It's a literal shrine. It almost feels like a cult at this point. This industry. Like, what are they actually doing with the goats and everything? Like, so I guess the missed call numbers are from that person, Ragabi. But Rainer said that it was ours, right? Lumens. So now I'm curious who this person is. Whoa. Water. Plant. Life.
It could be just for us. Our secret place.
Ooh.
Finally.
I'm like thinking of like the Garden of Eden. Like forbidden knowledge.
Is this okay?
Sin.
It does discourage romantic fraternization. Oh.
This can be romantic, though.
I mean, it is a loophole.
I'm just not ready.
Ah. I love this framing though. Like, it's very intimate. Especially coming from these two actors, man. This is incredible. Yeah, the religious tone in this episode has been really prevalent in my eyes. I mean, cutting from Irving and Bert to like a frame of, a church and the cross there is just beautiful stuff. It's the lady that we met in the previous episode.
He looks like a William.
His name's Bradley, actually.
Not William? You changed it?
Did we leave the juice boxes in the car? Hi, Angelo Arteta.
I'm Devin. Nice to meet you.
The way she asked, "Did you change the name?" is very, very odd. For the story, like what are they trying to imply there? Like, she was severed during their stay.
Fuckity fuck.
Exactly.
Sorry.
The best photographs are of groups of happy friends who love each other deeply.
The work is mysterious and important.
That's good. That sounds just like me.
I know. Back to work, slackers.
Oh my. Yeah, I'm feeling the
Hey,
yeah, he's also feeling it.
fraternizing too.
Yeah.
What? No.
Hey there. What are you all talking about?
Oh,
Nah.
we're just discussing the
Yes, Mrs.
Miss Casey.
Miss Casey.
Miss
yes.
Casey.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of Miss Casey,
Wait,
yeah, let's
where is
talk
she?
about. Yeah, let's talk about Miss Casey.
Part-time innies may not be as socialized and sophisticated as yourself, but they still must be held accountable for their actions.
Once again, she said part-time innies, which heavily implies full-time innies.
It's not your job to play nursemaid to every new refiner.
Okay, so what is my job?
Are you really asking me that?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, let's
What is
go.
it we actually do here?
Let's go. Asking the real questions here.
Reserve gear! You child! Get your little ass back to your desk and stay there until you're told to move.
Nice drawing of a lamp.
You two enjoy sneaking off the other day? Baby goats?
Why are you saying it like that?
Well,
Are you implying that baby goats is code for sex with Mark S?
mm-hmm. Is baby goats code for sex with Marcus?
No, they were actual goats. Why would we call it that?
Okay. Yeah, I believe you.
Hey, I mean, it could actually happen with this current development, you know? Baby goats.
Which way did you say it was to O&D?
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
This is more people than I've ever seen.
Same.
What do you refine?
They're creating.
Is that a watering can?
That was my question.
We think it might be supplies for the executive wing upstairs. There is a lot unknown to us as well, but we keep plugging along. It's
I hope they,
important work, obviously.
the characters actually look back at like that painting with like the goat, you know, from episode
Important
2.
because it actually is, or because you're saying it is?
Why won't they tell us what we're doing here?
Yeah.
What are they so afraid of?
Yeah.
Why are we down here still working in the dark?
Man, I love it, man. Doubting your belief.
We could each bring one aide de camp.
He's taking that card. Yep.
Key, chosen one, key. Key, brilliant one, key.
Oh, this is so unsettling.
Escort him to the break room.
Is Miss Casey still in the break room though? Because if she is still in the break room, Mark and Miss Casey are gonna meet up. I want to see that. I want to see those two alone, and I want to see their reaction. Oh, she just got done with. Okay. Oh, I love this shot.
I'm sorry.
Oh God, not again.
In your hand.
Just like before, man. Immediately cuts to this.
Did you ever think about having kids?
And we tried for a little while. She was, very pragmatic. Is it weird that I'm talking about her right now? I feel like...
No, I think it's also healthy.
Yeah, but we're on a date.
I haven't walked out on you yet.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Important character. Legalize severance. Oh, oh yeah, she was severed. She was absolutely severed when... Explains a lot. Damn. Damn. Fuels my suspicion more that it's a city.
You must be Devin.
Why? Why is she here?
I went giddy when Mark mentioned you were looking for someone.
So serendipitous.
I know. Hello, little Eleanor. Aw.
Nah, man. Even Eleanor's like looking sus at her. She's like, "Who? No, stay away from me." Very deliberate use of color, in her clothing. And she's humming the... Of course she is. But yeah, like Mrs. Selvig presenting herself as like this white savior. Pause. That's not what I was trying to say. What the fuck is happening?
Holy shit, is this my house?
Dylan, listen. You have no idea how sensitive this information is.
I mean, this...
I put it in the bathroom. Second stall behind the toilet.
Thank you.
This also just confirms that
I didn't
they...
know what it was.
That's fine too.
Daddy! Daddy!
What the fuck?
We told you to count to 1,000 and wait outside.
Is that my kid?
Holy shit!
End it.
And what? Okay, fully confirms. Answered my question of like how and like, yeah, this whole town is sus. My suspicion on that is correct. They can just switch that from Lumen headquarters. Apparently, that is insane. I mean, there's probably more to it.
That's June. Hey, this is tonight, like right now. Should we go to this?
Oh man, there's a lot I want to talk about, but I don't know if I could... I don't know if I can keep up, you know, speaking for a long period, because you know how long these review analyses are gonna go. Because I'm just gonna be coughing for like the entire... for the entire review.
Who's doing sound in this alleyway tonight? It's terrible.
Right. Petey's daughter, right?
You're filming, you fuck. Sure, thank you.
Whoa. I wonder who his first... Oh yeah, he's going with it. Yeah. I wonder who his first love is. If the lyrics are based on like his actual, you know, life and such, which, you know, it's usually the case.
This is June.
Hey, you guys are really good.
Are we? I'm pretty sure we suck.
Well, that last song was great.
Right, what you know, right?
Yeah. Your dad would have really liked it, I bet.
How the fuck would you even know that?
Oh man. But he speaks the truth though. It's kind of hard to explain it to, you know, to her.
It's been difficult to piece together.
Love has been a really prevalent theme in this episode as well. Love, belief.
I got a tip from a campus cop against college. What the fuck are you wearing?
Oh, that's a great response.
The dean's told security to look the other way.
Gams.
Probably is Ragabi.
It is her.
Right, her.
Wanna
Okay.
come with me and find out?
Who is Ragabi though?
I do not.
Like, I'm wondering if Ragabi is somebody that we know of.
So, you're like a nurse or something?
God damn this fucking cough, man. Hey, look at that, Mark. Had a good night, I bet. Man, Mark's love life is kind of fucked if you think about it now. If the show is going into the direction that I think it's gonna go. Oh man, you're lucky that the trash has not been taken out yet? Answer the phone, Mark. Come on. I mean, at this point, we kind of know who it is that is calling him.
Who is this?
Friend of Petey's.
Good answer.
Is this Mark Scout?
Rogabi knows. Love this angle. Somebody's watching you.
Did he tell you before he died?
Or I guess the feeling of being watched.
I want to understand.
I want to understand too, man.
Can you meet me now?
Right now. Okay. Do it. Do it, Mark. Let's go. Oh my god, look at this shot though. Are they installing like the elevator? Oh no, that's just macro data. Never mind. Beautiful shot. Okay. I I get what they're doing now. Macro data is just being, tightly secured now.
I used to teach at this school.
I know.
Okay, not someone that we've seen before. Because at first I was thinking like maybe it's Alexa, maybe it's actually his sister, but no. Actually a different character, a new character, okay. Oh man, that was a great episode. Damn this cough, man. I really want to talk at length, but I don't know. I don't know, man. There's a lot to unpack here. I'll hold off on the review until I until I recover from this. Gives me a good, opportunity, a good time to just rewatch the episode again. Maybe, find something that I missed. But yeah, solid episode, great episode. Love the themes and some of the, I guess, some of the stuff that are being set up in this episode. Really good. Man, there's a lot to unpack here. There's too much to unpack here. All right, Severance season 1 episode 6. So, it's been more than a week since I've watched this episode. I haven't gotten the chance to immediately talk about it because I was recovering from a cough, and it was just not a good experience to talk at length when I'm coughing every minute or so. But anyways, I have rewatched episode 6. A lot of stuff that we can talk about in this episode. A lot, actually, because this episode raised some major suspicions, especially on the town itself, which is something that I've kind of talked about during the beginnings of the series. I talk a little bit about I don't fully trust the town because what if the town is also in on it and whatever. But in this episode, it's pretty much kind of explored more. And it raised so many suspicious it raises so much suspicions on the town in general, because now I can't really trust a lot of the people there. There's a few that I still trust, right? Like, let's say Devin and Rickon, for example. I feel like they're probably the most innocent out of everybody who is in the show for the time being, at least on the outside, because they're not really going against Mark because they're families of Mark. But then of course, you got Miss Coble and whatever, and they're always gonna be monitoring Mark, and I guess other people on the Severance project, if we're being real here. But also, this is all because they just revealed in this episode, right, that they can just switch the severance procedure or whatever. They can just change the outie to the innie on a whim wherever they like, straight from Lumen headquarters. Okay, now to be fair, we don't know if it's exactly from Lumen headquarters, but that's kind of the implication, right? Because I was wondering if there's a range to this whole situation, or they can just do that wherever, right? But yeah, that Dylan scene, let's just talk about that first, shall we? since we're already on the topic of this. Dylan being wake up in his own house and then meeting his own child before Milchik says, end it, end it, end it. That I cannot wait to see how they're gonna explore in the next episode when we meet Dylan again on the, on Lumen headquarters on the severed floor. Because that raises a lot of questions, especially for him. Because now he, that's like the whole thing about like being severed, right? You're not supposed to know what is happening on the outside. Now Dylan knows that he has a kid. And keep in mind, this memory of Dylan meeting with his kid is only going to be like a split 10-second memory, right? Because the next time Dylan wakes up, that's going to be like the last thing that he remembers. Dude, I cannot wait to see how, not really how Dylan's gonna deal with it, but I cannot wait to see how the severed floor, like Miss Coble, Grainer, Milchik, like I want to see how they're gonna handle this, because this is pretty big, right? This is a pretty big moment for Dylan, right? He just learned about his outie self. Like, what are they gonna do to him? Like, are they gonna forcefully rewire his memory again? Is that a thing? Could that be possible? Who knows, right? But this introduces a new element to the story that I really love, because this is introducing more stakes and more potential consequences, right? But in this case, it's not really Dylan's fault, right? This is I would say Mr. Milchik's fault, and the severed floor management in general, because they fail to essentially keep Dylan on a private room by himself without being spoiled on what is happening to his outie, right? Because the kid coming in was not part of the plan, right? Like, Milchik should have been more careful with that. So that's on them and not on Dylan. Even though, well, technically speaking, it's none of this wouldn't have happened if Dylan didn't take the card from OND. Whose fault is it, really? But yeah, a lot of stuff happening, especially with all of this in the same episode where we just discovered that there is a state senator whose wife is severed, but she's not on the severed floor. Oh boy. Again, this raises a lot of questions on how many characters in the town, not just in Lumen, but in the town in general, that's actually undergoing the severed project, right? And how many of them actually knew that they were severed to begin with. That's the question, really, because again, like, I'm wondering and I'm thinking, right? How many characters or how many people in this town, right, who actually underwent the severed project, but instead of living in the severed floor, they're just living in the town and they're just serving under Lumen instead. And the thing is, I'm also wondering if they even know that they are severed to begin with. That's a thought, isn't it? Because, okay, hear me out. Like, in the case of like the people working in Lumen, they are told, right? They are told that, hey, you got severed, your outie did this, right? You have an outie. They're living their own lives. You're an innie. You're living in Lumen, and you have this to do and that to do, and you will not know what your outie is doing, and your outie will not know what your innie is doing, right? But they are told that they are in a severed project, right? What if a character underwent the Severance project, like the Severance program, but they don't tell them that they went this, that they underwent this project, right? In that case, in a sense, the their previous life is pretty much erased because they never told you about it, right? And if they never told you about it, then they never existed to begin with, right? If that makes sense. Like, I wonder if that is a thing. I wonder if that is a possibility. And I wonder if that is something that is currently happening in the town itself and not necessarily in Lumen as a building, right? Because if it's happening in the town, then that just means that the characters living in the town, they don't even know, right? Lumen just could say, "Oh yeah, you got amnesia or whatever." I'm oversimplifying a couple of things. You know, obviously, there's a lot that we can that we can dive deeper into this. But yeah, that's just like the thing that this episode kind of presented itself. At least one of the major big ones in this episode, right? The ability to switch a person outside of Lumen. And beyond that, this episode also pretty much showcases like how much Lumen actually controls the town in general, right? So part of the reason why I'm thinking this way is because in this episode, towards the end, we see that Grainer, when talking to Miss Coble, he pretty much tells her that, yeah, we know that Mark is going to be meeting with Ragabi in this university, right? How does he know? Because he has information from everywhere, because apparently the people there told him, which means, okay, how much does Lumen control the city? If the person who is running the city, you know, or one of the state's person who is running the city, legalize severance, then what's stopping the show from just, you know, telling me that, hey, yeah, this whole city, this whole town, yeah, they underwent severance too, right? That would be insane, but I would not be surprised. And this also kind of comes into the whole thing. Very small, quick moment that happened in this episode where Mark was attending June's like concert of anti-Lumen protests band performance. He was about to record the video, right? He was about to record on his phone, and the guy's like, hey, no recording, right? You can brush that off easily. It's just like, yeah, it's a private performance and whatever, but what if that's how Lumen gets their information? Who's to say that Lumen can, I don't know, hack your phone, hack your computer, you know, get information from there, you know? What is privacy to begin with if your privacy is owned by the not the government, by the company, right? Again, like it just raises so many new questions. It raises so many new questions, and it raises so many new possibilities, because we're not just dealing with Lumen as a building, we're also dealing with the town, right? As I guess an extension of the building. But yeah, going back before to Mark meeting with Ragabi in university, this is something that I just remembered as I was watching the episode and then going back to like the first episode just to reconfirm what I'm about to say. But yeah, Mark was a history professor, right? World War One. Gemma is also a Russian literature teacher, I believe. I think it would be cool, and I think it would be sweet if the fact that these two are teachers, then this university is how they met each other. I think that would be pretty cool, right? I mean, Mark himself already pretty much told Ragabi and the audience in the end of the episode that, yeah, I used to work here, right? I used to teach here, right? So I think it would make sense if Gemma also used to work in this place, and that's how they meet and whatever. But if Lumen also has their pockets, or you know, if Lumen has their strings on this university itself as well, then it also runs into suspicions on, well, what if their encounter was not a chance encounter at all. Like we don't know how these two we don't know how these two met. But I would not be surprised if these two met not coincidentally, and it was all orchestrated by Lumen for some reason that I can't really think of at the moment, right? Like again, like I would not be surprised if Lumen orchestrated a lot of the things, right? In that sense, we're dealing with determinism and whatever, but let's not dive deeper into that just yet. But yeah, Mark's gonna be meeting with Ragabi. They're gonna be talking about like how PD got, I guess, broken free of his own. Not really broken free because he's still, the sickness and whatever. But hey, this is a good start, right? This is a good start for Mark, in terms of continuing the plot and also to continue solving the mystery in question, right? What is Lumen up to? What are they cooking in there? The episode itself, I really love the stuff that is happening in the building. OND and MDR finally kind of working together, finally meeting each other, trying to figure out what is happening, what is going on, why are they kind of separating us and whatever. Like that's good character development for Mark as well, because he's the one leading the charge. I love the scene between Bert and Irving on their secret little garden. I kind of alluded to the Garden of Eden during my reaction, mostly because it's a garden. It also symbolizes like the original sin, a lot of things. Like I could be wrong on that, and I might be just reaching on that, but because of how much religious aspects are presented in the show, I would not be surprised. And speaking of religion, and speaking of Mark's, I guess, profession, the beginning of the episode, right? In the beginning of the episode, we see Miss Coble kind of worshipping Kier in this like shrine, right? And then you see like the one of the dates on Miss Coble, I believe, which was 1944, which I guess again like that could pretty much mean what I think it means, which is that's her date of birth, which I guess coincides with Kier himself as a person. No, not really. Kier died in 1939, if memory serves me right. When I look back at like the episode when they were going into the what was it, the perpetuity wing, where there's like a bunch of the Kier wax statues and whatever. Like Kier Egan, I believe, was like 1840 something to 1939. So not really, because I was thinking like maybe Miss Coble was born as like an Egan or someone adopted by like the original Egans. I mean, that could still be the case, right? I was thinking like maybe Kier, like the founder, was the one who raised Coble. But if Coble was born like a couple of years after his death, then that would not be the case. But still, the reason why I brought this up is that Mark being a history teacher specifically for World War One, I wonder if that's just like a throwaway, yeah, he teaches World War One, that's it, whatever, cool. Or there's more to this, right? I think it would be really cool if his profession actually comes into play later on in the story, because that time frame is pretty much when, I would say, like when Kier was still around, right? We don't know what Lumen was up to during that time period, but I think it would be really cool to see if Mark using his his history profession to actually go back, look at, like the time period, research on that, and go, wait a minute, hold on, there's a connection here between the atrocities of the Axis powers experimenting on certain things, goats perhaps, and what we're doing right now in Lumen. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. But yeah, uh, that would be actually really really funny and insane. You know, if that actually came to be. Um, what else do I want to talk about? Um, I think that's pretty much it. I think that's all I'll talk about in this episode. Um, I mean, again, like there's oh, the new security thing that they just implemented on macro data refinement. I'm wondering what that is. So at first I thought, ooh, what if there is? At first I was playing around with the idea of like a severed room in the severed floor. So if you go into the room, you're severed again. So severedception, if that makes sense. But the more I think about it, I think it's just more so the fact that if you come in, you just can't get out without like a security code or whatever. And the only person who's gonna be holding the security code could be like Mr. Milchick or Grainer or Miss Coble. Pretty much what Miss Coble said in in episode 6, where MDR's like hallway privileges are being revoked, and this is what she meant. Like, yeah, hallway privileges revoked in the sense that you're gonna be stuck in this room forever until 5 p.m., in which case you may leave. That could probably be the case. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's pretty much it. I cannot wait to see like what they're gonna do in episode 7. Like, I can't wait to see like how Dylan is gonna react after learning that he has a son. Can't wait to see like what Audi Mark is gonna discover with Ragabi. Oh, and also I guess I forgot to mention this. They're building Helly and Mark's relationship a lot in this episode. Like, from their banter and everything, it's almost becoming increasingly clear to me that these two characters are gonna fall in love, which makes the Audis it adds to the dynamic of like, oh boy, oh no, if your innie falls in love with another innie, then what happens to the Audi? Because the Audi is gonna fall in love with somebody else. In this case, Mark is gonna be, Mark's already with Alexa, right? For the time being. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah. That's pretty much it for season 2, episode 6. Sorry, not season 2, season 1. Season 1, episode 6. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I will see you all next time. Take care, everybody. Have a nice day. Peace.